Hi everyone, it's Dawn. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, I'm Dawn and I'm a 55-year-old woman here in the mature beauty community, and I invite you to hit the subscribe button and stick around. So it's Monday today. Happy Monday. I hope that you all had a really nice weekend. It was a pretty low-key weekend here. Last weekend was Easter and it was a busier weekend, and so my husband and I try to kind of balance out our weekends. So if we have a really busy weekend, it's really nice if the next weekend is a little more low key. And so we did do some yard work, and we did something that I thought would be more sad for me than it was, but we took down my kids' swing set, which has been in the backyard forever and ever, and nobody uses it. So it's kind of sad to look out into the yard and see it sitting there. I'm kind of excited because the space where the swing set was is now going to be our garden, and it's a pretty big space. So we're going to have a vegetable garden like we do every year, and this year it's going to be larger than it's ever been, and I'm going to be able to plant some flowers in the garden too. So I'm excited about that. I want to plant some flowers around the perimeter of the vegetable garden, and my husband said there are flowers, as many of you know if you're gardeners, that deter rabbits and other animals from coming into your garden and eating the vegetables. So let me know if you are a gardener and if you can make any recommendations. I do live in the Midwest and we get full sun in the area where the garden's going to be. So I just thought that might be important information for you to know if you're going to recommend something. But anyways, I'm excited about getting that started when the weather is finally nice enough for us to do so. Anyway, it is Monday, like I said, and the Sephora VIB sale is underway, and I wasn't going to make a video, but this weekend I happened to watch beautiful Melissa 55's video, and she didn't share her recommendations for what she would purchase. Rather, she shared the items that she's purchased at the sale and the items that she tends to purchase over and over. And I really liked that a lot because there are so many items that I can recommend from the Sephora sale, so many items that I would like to try myself. But I think that it's more helpful to me when I watch videos where people share what they absolutely love and have purchased more than once, or just something that they have fallen in love with and they're sure that they would like to recommend it to other people. So I rounded up some products. I was going to keep it to around 5, and then if you wanted another video, I would do another video. So I'm still going to kind of stick to that, although I think it's going to be more like 8 items. And if you'd like more, of course, there are more items that I would recommend. But I'm just going to jump in and share items that I love, items that I have purchased before at the VIB sale more than once, and some newer items that I am just absolutely certain that they are worth the money. I'm just going to jump right in, and I'm going to start sharing with you the products that are hidden gems at Sephora. They might not be new to the market. In fact, I don't think any of the ones that I'm sharing with you are, and that's why I guess they're hidden gems, because a lot of people continuously talk about the latest and greatest, but I sort of sit back and I watch and see what people are still loving after all the dust settles on a new release, and then I'll try it because I don't want to be disappointed. Even though Sephora does have an wonderful return policy, they'll take anything back, even if you've used it. So keep that in mind too. If you do purchase something and you just don't really like it, or it's not for you, you can always return it. Just keep your receipt. And if you go online and you are like signed up on their website, they keep track of what you've purchased. So you don't even need to have a receipt. Okay, I'm going to jump right in and start sharing the items that I've purchased more than once, or I've used them continuously for quite a while, and I know that they're fantastic, and I think you would like them too. So the first one is a mini palette, and no, it isn't the Natasha Denona minis, which I would recommend. If you're wanting to try a Natasha Denona mini, it is a good time to take advantage of the sale, and they are only, I think, $27 for the mini palettes, and I do love them. But I do have a palette that I love more than any of my Natasha Denona minis, and I think at this point it is a hidden gem, and it is the Soft Glam 2 palette from Anastasia. Anastasia has the larger Soft Glam palette, and I would recommend that palette in a heartbeat. I would also recommend the Modern Renaissance palette or the Nouveau palette. I love them. They are among my favorite eyeshadow palettes, if not my very favorite eyeshadow palettes. But this one is the mini size, and it retails for $29, and I feel like it is worth every cent of $29, even more, because it is the Anastasia quality, which is really buttery and creamy and pigmented, and you don't need to use a lot of product at all to get your desired results. When I use my Natasha Denona minis that I love, don't get me wrong, I do find that when I'm using the shimmery eyeshadows in the palette, they don't go far. I feel like as I use the palettes, I dip into them again and again, and before I know it, I'm hitting pan. They are beautiful, they are lovely, and I do think these are worth the $27, and with the sale, I think that all of them are worth it, and I love these, and I will continue to purchase Natasha Denona minis. I have a lot of them, and I love them. But this is special because even the shimmery shades last a very long time. I've purchased this palette, I think, 3 times, and I picked this one up at the last VIB sale for Sephora, and I use it regularly. I have it on my eyes today, so I'm just gonna close my eyes. I don't think I created anything super special, but I'll show you. It's just a really beautiful go-to look for me. If you would like to see it, I can do a quick get ready with me using this palette to show you my go-to look. But honestly, I love every shade in this palette. This is what it looks like. And I love this shade right here. I think it's called a Vermeer. It is in the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette too, and you can purchase it as a single. And this is my absolute favorite eyeshadow for like on the inside, really brightening your lid, or on the inner corner. It's the most beautiful shade. I feel like I need to go online and purchase this in individual, the individuals, because I love it so much and I go through it. And I also love the matte next to it. It's a very creamy matte. Look at that. And a lot of times I'll put the matte down all over, and then I'll put a bit of this on my mobile lid. I'll use this as a liner, and it's a great eyeshadow look for the day. Oh my goodness, I love this red. It's my absolute favorite kind of burgundy red in a palette. I'd love to share a look with you using it. If you're interested, let me know. I love this shade, and I love this shade together, like this in the crease, and then this kind of like somewhere else. So beautiful. I could do so many looks with this palette. This one is really pretty as like an ochre shade in your crease. And this is really bright and fun. And again, if you don't know how to use some of these colors, you're like, I won't use them. Trust me, you will. If you play around with them, I think that this palette would be universally beautiful on everyone. This is a palette that was released years ago, the large palette and this mini, and she hasn't discontinued them. And I think it's because they are so popular. Also the Modern Renaissance palette. You absolutely cannot go wrong with that palette either. So this is the first thing that I would recommend because I love it. It's one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes. Okay, the next product is also an eyeshadow, but this is for one and done purposes. And I think that these are fantastic. I have purchased these in several colors, and my favorite one is in the shade Ray. My daughter loves Aura, and then there's a really pretty copper one, and I think I might pick that one up this time during the sale. And they are from Hourglass. They're a little bit pricey. I think they're like $30, but they last a really, really, really long time. I've never used one up yet, but I use these all the time, and they are so beautiful. So you take the top off, and it has like this little kind of, I call it like a plunger, but what it does is it kind of packs down the product and keeps it nice and neat. And this is the shade Ray. As you can see, I use it a lot, and what I like these for is a one and done eyeshadow look. And sometimes I really like these over the Charlotte Tilbury individual, like one and dones. Actually, every time I use these, I like to set them with something for some reason. I feel like I don't know, for the amount of product I like to have on my lids, I feel like I need to kind of set these with something. So I do love these, but they aren't my favorite. My favorite are the Hourglass, and they're called Scattered Light, and they are a little bit, not really glittery, but definitely shimmery. So this is Ray, and I just dipped my brush in one time. And as you can see, there's no pieces of glitter falling anywhere, and there really is no glitter at all. It really is like scattered light. So I just tap my brush, and it doesn't really get too dusty, even in here, even though they have this, but this is helpful to kind of really prevent product from scattering around and wasting product, I guess, is what I'm thinking. So you can build these. They're really buildable. They're really beautiful. And for a one and done eyeshadow look, they're absolutely stunning. Even though it's something simple, it's just a one eyeshadow, you can wear them for every day because they aren't glittery. They just have a sheen to them, which is really, really pretty. You don't get any dusty fallout anywhere, which makes them so easy to use. Or I never touch up my eyeshadow during the day, but if you are someone who does, this you won't need to touch it up during the day at all. But you could, and they'd be easy to transport and easy to use, like even in the car. Really pretty. When I use these, I like to use them all over my mobile lid, up through my crease, and kind of make a dome shape. And I blend it out around the edges to sheer it out so it's a little more pigmented on my lid. And then I like to take a pencil brush and use a little bit more and run it along my lower lash line. Use a little bit of eyeliner, mascara, and I'm done. And like I said, even if I'm going to like a wedding or an event, I always say wedding because that seems to be like the most exciting thing I do. And I have a lot of nieces and nephews getting married. So if I'm going somewhere where I want to look really kind of fancy and special, these are definitely something that I would use for that. I'm really thoughtful about the makeup I'm going to put on when I have something special to go to. And I have no qualms with these whatsoever. There's a green one that is stunning, and it isn't for me because I don't think it would look good on me. I would try it, you know, I just am not, I used to be a green eyeshadow person when I was younger. But copper is my color for blue eyes. Bronzes and coppers are beautiful. The most beautiful rose gold shade you could ever purchase, even more than this one in rose gold. I think I have this in rose gold. This is rose gold. This is Charlotte Tilbury in rose gold. And you can see I've used it quite a bit. But the Hourglass rose gold, it's called Aura, is so beautiful. So beautiful. I might even pick it up to top this one with. Then it's not really one and done, it's two and done. But I might do that. It's really, really pretty. I've had it before, used it up. That's my daughter's favorite. I might pick one up for her too because it's the only eyeshadow she really wears. She's not like me. She's not a makeup junkie like I am. But yeah, if you've never tried these, I would urge you to try them. And also something else I no longer own but loved because I used it up. It's the Hourglass tubing mascara. And I think it's called Unlocked. I can't remember what it's called. I'll link it in the description box. It's very, 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 very good. And I would definitely purchase that one again. Right now, I have a full tube of the Thrive Liquid Lash Extension. I'm recommending so many products now, and that wasn't my intention. I wanted to focus on this and tell you to try it if you have any interest at all. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Okay, I have a new Holy Grail foundation. I know I share a lot of foundations with you because I have a lot of foundations. I am a diehard Estee Lauder Double Wear fan. I love Estee Lauder Double Wear. I always have one in my rotation, and I really liked it a lot. And I really like it a lot. And I really like the Lancome Tint Idol. Those are the two foundations that I've used the very longest. I think the Double Wear would be my ride or die, but it was because I love the coverage. It's a good medium to almost full coverage, and it's a matte finish, but it's a very soft matte with a slight Can it be matte and glowy at the same time? I feel like it is. I feel like with my skin having a little bit of an oily T-zone, it can get like a little bit, I don't know, matte but glowy, and I love it. And they do sell this at Sephora, so if you've never tried the Double Wear, I'd be very surprised because it's been around forever for a reason. It's amazing. But I do have another foundation that I love as much, if not more. And I'm afraid to get too committed to this because this particular brand does discontinue products, whereas this has been around, I don't know, 20 years, maybe more, and everyone still loves it. It's a beautiful foundation. And like I said, I do love the Lancome Tint Idol, but they reformulated it and I like a little more coverage than that one offers, but I still love that one. But the foundation I want to share with you, which is my new favorite foundation, is from Laura Mercier, and it's the Real Flawless Weightless Foundation, and it looks like this. And this is a waterproof foundation, and it has high resolution pigments and priming powders. It doesn't seem like there's any powder in it, so don't let that scare you. In the formula, so it feels weightless on your skin, but it gives you really good coverage. You don't need a lot of product because it is weightless because of these pigments. And that's how the Lancome Tint Idol has been reformulated to do as well, where instead of needing more foundation to build it up for coverage, the pigments give it the coverage. So you don't need to use a lot of product. And so this is what it looks like. I have a lot of swatches over here, so I'll go this way. And it doesn't oxidize on me. It does the teensiest bit. I used a lot for my hand. That was probably the amount I could have used on my face, but it feels like silk. Like when I blend it into my skin, it doesn't have like a dimethicone feel where it has like that kind of slip, but it has a different kind of slip that feels so amazing on your skin. And I would say it gives you a skin-like finish. It's not really matte, but it's not overly glowy either. It gives you a skin-like finish. I'm wearing it today. My chin, I've been telling you this in my past several videos, and I need to do a skincare video because I used a product that broke my chin out, and I'm still dealing with the ramifications of that. So I have some scabs here, and I've been covering them. And honestly, this covers it better than my concealer. I've been using concealer on them, and this covers it better. So I'll just go over that little area a little bit more, and it covers like a dream. I don't have to use a concealer with this. And then also for under my eyes, I don't have to use a concealer. I can just take the small end of my Real Technique sponge and go under my eyes, and it really gives me good coverage under my eyes as well. If you haven't tried this, pick up a sample. You will be surprised, I think, at what a lovely foundation this is. I don't hear a lot of people talking about it, and it does come in a nice glass bottle, and it does have a really nice pump, and it's just very easy to use. Lovely foundation. Give it a try. Okay, I have two blushes that are newer to me, two different brands, and I love them so much. I purchased one of them during the last sale, and the other one I just purchased recently because I've been really wanting to try these, and I purchased them off of the brand's website. So I'm gonna start with the first one, and it's from this brand, Say. It's a clean beauty brand, and it looks like this. And this is the Glow Sculpt Multi-Use Cream Highlighting Blush. That's a little bit of a mouthful, but it is a cream blush, and it does have a highlighting property to it that's so pretty. The compact is really nice, and it has a mirror in here if you like that kind of thing. And this is what it looks like. And I'm gonna show you just how it looks. So this is in the shade Mauve Glow, and I love this shade. I don't have another shade like this in my collection, and so I really like this product, and I like this shade. And so I usually apply this with my fingers, and I'll put it on my cheekbone and then just sort of work it into my skin and blend it out. And this is very buildable, and it's hydrating on your skin, and it's reflective. So I think for mature skin, this is a really beautiful product. If you're younger, like when I was younger, I had very oily skin and I wouldn't have used a product like this. And after using this product for as long as I have, which is like, I don't know, 8 months, I know that when I was younger, I wouldn't have liked this product because I didn't like dewy on my skin when it was very oily. But now that I'm mature and I'm going through menopause presently, and my skin is a little bit drier, but still a little bit oily too, I love it. And so this is what it looks like. It's really pretty, it's really fresh, and it's really highlighty, and you don't need to use anything else with it. You don't need to use a highlighter over it. So it's like a good one and done. So if you were to use like the Hourglass Scattered Light, use this. I mean, you could do a absolutely beautiful makeup look with a really minimal product. It just usually looks beautiful all day. It's pretty sheer, but you can build it up, and it doesn't build up to be opaque. And I don't mind, because I do tend to like a more sheer finish on my skin, because I like my skin to show through, especially as I'm older. I like a little more hydration, and I like my skin to show. So I would absolutely recommend it. I love it, and I would highly recommend it. I've only tried it in Mauve Glow, but I would definitely like to try it in more colors. And then the next blush that I would absolutely recommend, I'm wearing one of them today, is from Patrick Ta. I've talked about these before, and these are the Major Headliners blushes, and I have 2 of them, and these are absolutely amazing. They are more opaque, so they're not as sheer, but I'm going to show you something about these if you haven't seen them. The colors might scare you a little bit, but don't let them scare you. They're very, very pigmented, but they look very good on the skin, trust me. So the first one that I have is called Do We Know Her? And it looks like this. And a lot of people might steer away from this, but it's what I'm wearing right now. And what it is a very pigmented powder. And you can use it alone, or the way they recommend using it is counterintuitive. You can open up this little plastic top, and I love that this is here because it prevents the powder from getting on the cream, and you have a complementary or the exact same color cream blush, and this is what it looks like. And that looks really pigmented. So let me just show you. So this is this and this. So I'm gonna put it on my wrist. So this is the powder, and this is the way Patrick Ta recommends using it. So you blend it out, and I'm using my finger, and I did kind of really go in there hard. You won't do that. So let me blend it out with a brush. Okay, so pretend that's my cheek. Blend it out, soften the edges, and you'll have it on your cheek. Then you go in with the cream at the top of your cheekbone, and it gives the most beautiful, soft sheen. I hope that you can see that. I have some hair on my arms that I don't have on my cheeks, so it might show a little differently, but maybe not. It's just so, so pretty. I go with a very light touch. So even though they are a little bit expensive, they're $38 retail, $38 without any sales, but you do get 2 blushes, and they're good size pans, and you need the smallest amount of product. So you saw how much I picked up and how far it went. If I just kind of tap it, see, you don't need much at all. So I typically go in with a brush, and I just like tap at it like that, and then tap it around on my cheek. And then I go in with the cream and just hit like the tops of my cheekbones to get that beautiful sheen. You can use either of these separately. So you can skip this one altogether and go in with the cream, or you can use them together. I've done both. I've used them individually and I've used them together, and I love them. Like, look at that. I just touched my cheek and I have so much on. Let me blend that in. I'll be right back. Okay, I hope that I have that blended in now. I feel like I'll have a little too much on this side now. But, so a little goes a very long way. They're absolutely stunning. They come in a lot of different colors, and the colors that I picked up are rather bright. So I would like to get one that's a little more muted down. And they do come in bronzers, I believe, too. And I haven't tried those because I do have a bronzer I absolutely love. So this is the other one, and this one is called She's a Doll, and I love this. You know that I love these pinks like this, and I'm going to be very careful not to pick up too much product. So tap, tap, tap. So see how that looks? It's that really brightening pink that looks so flattering and brightens up your skin. They did release another one recently. I can't think of what it's called, and it's like the same shade but lighter, and it's sold out. But honestly, I think I really like this one. I'm not going to pick that one up. If I do pick up another one, it's going to be one of the more neutral ones. I'd like to try a more neutral. So this is She's a Doll. And it's so pretty. And if you know me, if you've been watching me, you know I like to have most of my blushes and lipsticks and things in either like a corally peach or a pink, because those are the colors I always go to, and I kind of decide which one I'm going to use depending on the eyeshadow I'm wearing that day. So I love these. They're the major headliners from Patrick Ta. They're silky, they're smooth, they're glowy, they're pigmented, and they are perfect. Okay, I have an absolutely favorite brow product that I talk about in almost all my videos because it's the only one I've been using now. And this is from Kosas, and it's their Air Brow. And I have mine in the shade Auburn, and it looks like this. I also really, really love the Glossier Boy Brow in Auburn. They're like equal. I love them both. This one is, I think, $3 or $4 more, but it lasts a lot longer. So I kind of like that. I feel like I would go through the boy brow too fast, and the bottle's a little bit smaller. I think you get a teensy bit more product here, but you need to use less. So I think this one is the one that is like my favorite because of those things. And I don't use any other brow product now. I used to use like a pencil, and then I would go over it with something from Benefit. And now I only use this. I will say that the Sephora collection makes a really, really good brow product like this as well. And I need to pick it up and compare it because I ran out of that. And then I started purchasing this one, and I've been only purchasing this one, but I really need to do a comparison to see how they compare, because I could save myself some money if I find out I like the Sephora collection one as much as this one. And I think that one is only like $12 or $15, and then you get the 30% off on top of that with the sale. But I've tried it before. It's really, really good, and I would recommend it in whatever shade you need. I always use Auburn, and I'm very pleased that they do make an Auburn in the Sephora collection, because a lot of brands just skip over us redheads, and it's very frustrating. So I'd recommend this. I have some more products I want to share with you, but I'm not going to because this video is getting long. So I'm just going to share one more thing. Since the Sephora collection is 30% off for absolutely everyone, I have a couple of brushes that are holy grail brushes for me. I picked them up over the past maybe a little over a year ago, and I love them. I wash them all the time. They hold up. They're fantastic. So the first one is the Pro Bronzer 80 brush, and it looks like this. And it's really great if you're using a powdered bronzer. I don't use it for a bronzer. I have, and it works great for that. So if you want to use it for your bronzer, like a powdered bronzer, it's absolutely perfect for that. But what I like to use it for is a little bit of setting powder, because it's so big and it's so puffy, and you can pick up the littlest amount of product and really dust it over your face, and it never looks too powdery. So what I do is I usually take my powder and I just kind of dip it in so I'm not picking up too much, and just go around my face with it, and it sets everything just beautifully. It's really soft. The bristles don't feel like they're stabbing at my face. Like sometimes some brushes can be that way. It's so soft, it's so beautiful, and it made me not want to purchase the It Cosmetics brush that's like this anymore. I had my eye on that brush and it's very expensive, $50 or $60. And I picked this up and I no longer look at that brush. And it is from the Sephora collection. I think it's about $30, but it's 30% off right now. So it's a great time to try this brush. They also have their Sephora brushes like these in the travel collection. And I will be picking those up, those little brushes, because I am going to be doing some traveling this summer. And it's really nice to not have to bring all your really big brushes with you. And the other one is the Pro Foundation Brush 70. And it looks like this. And it is really like soft but dense, and it buffs so nicely, and it just gives me the most beautiful finish with my foundation. When I'm not using a sponge, this is a really good brush for that, and I'm so happy that I have it. They're very substantial too. They just feel good in your hand. They feel very high quality, and I love both of these brushes so much. So I'd recommend these to you. And I think I'm going to end this here. I had some fragrances I wanted to talk about. I had some other products I wanted to talk about. Maybe I'll make another video of just some other smaller items that aren't very expensive, but it would be a great time to take advantage, even if you just get the 10% off. So thank you so much for spending some time with me. So I hope you have a blessed and beautiful Monday, and I will see you soon.